Second time here this year. Matt Burton back in the number 6 jersey. Dogs beat the Wests Tigers early in the season, a game they looked to have wrapped up until a furious comeback, but the Dogs won that day, and they're trying to make it 2 from 2 here at Belmore Sports Ground.
I'll tell you what I did like about Matt Burton last week, moved to the number 6. Sexton coming to the side at halfback. He ran the football. He's a big body. He ran for over 160 metres last week with 2 try assists, so the calmness of not doing everything for the Bulldogs.
It's really interesting hearing Cameron Serraldo talking about Sexton's command of the room and how important that is.
Yeah, what an initiation. Second game for the Bulldogs and getting this.
And Wendell cheering on his son Tristan in the number 1 Broncos jersey. What an afternoon. Here we go. Dogs, Broncos, Belmore Sports Ground. And it's the Broncos who will bring it back here to a man who's starting here, Keenan Palacia, with no Haas. And as the Broncos, they beat the Dolphins the last time we saw them. That was a fortnight ago. Corey Jensen, fair bit of starting experience for the Broncos in 2023. There's now Kobe Hetherington back in the middle. He was playing in the second row by force against the Dolphins at the Gabba. But here's the second hit up now from Jensen. These sides haven't met since early last season, round 7. And that was up in Brisbane at Suncorp. The high ball from Reynolds. And lovely take by the man back at fullback, Jake Averillo.
Yeah, really good set there from the Brisbane Broncos. Tradesman, Hetherington out of the line. Physical shot as we knew he would. Getting up in the face of Braden Burns. Powerful start here from Brisbane.
They're making it tough here for the Dogs. But a penalty helps big time for Canterbury.
Gee, I'm not a big fan of that. I reckon they've got to let it go a little bit in the first couple of minutes. Some big shots there from the Broncos after the kick chase. Second tackle penalty. Let them get into it.
Let's go to Darcy McDonald, best seat in the house on the sideline.
Good afternoon, Dan Blocker and everyone tuning in. It is a sellout today at Belmore. A crowd of 17,000 expected. And most of them were here early to watch Josh Reynolds play his final game. As for the conditions, are balmy 21 degrees, but there is a gusty breeze that had an impact on the New South Wales Cup game earlier. It's favouring the Broncos in this first half.
Thank you, Das. So, okay, Broncos with the breeze. It's a warm breeze too. It's unseasonable conditions here in Sydney in the middle of July.
He played the ball there as it was touched by Saylor, the touch finder. And the Dogs in great field position now. Sexton barking orders.
What a chance. This crowd will go ballistic if they get one early. Vitala Mariner, first time in his 9-year career, the starting prop. Sexton on the inside, Waddell. 10-metre line just in front of him. Marnie waits, provides for King. Oh, another heavy attempted shot there. Palacia trying to rock the ball carrier. Sexton with a dummy and a run. Almost. Capel there. 2 tackles left. And now a man who has had a superb 2023. It is Jacob Preston who scores, and the Dogs get one early.
Yeah, on the back of a penalty. The Broncos just doing it. Just too much energy to start. Physicality. Trying to go after Brisbane. A 3rd tackle penalty. The Dogs get down the other end. And it's their crafty little dummy half read. Marnie out asking questions. Boy, what a find Preston has been. What a season he is putting together. And a shining light in what's been a pretty ordinary season at times for Canterbury. He has been ultra reliable out on that right edge. And at full stretch, it's young Jacob Preston reaching out and getting the Dogs the first try.
Well, he's not the tallest player in the competition. Ezra Mann, I reckon he's picked him out there. Jacob Preston gets the first try over the top of him. And if you're having a look for a Rookie of the Year, you mightn't look too far past this bloke. Come from North Sydney. They saw something, trained hard in the off-season, and that's his 6th try of the season so far.
I don't think you'd get much argument, Block. He's certainly in the mix. Most line breaks at Canterbury. Not often a second rower has that mark, and you see the tries there, and just all heart, Jacob Preston.
Yeah, he is showing incredible signs of what the fabric of this club's been built on. Hard work, team first, willing to take tough moments upon himself, and A great reward there. Preston finding the first try of the afternoon.
So Burton, 4 from 5 from the sidelines last week. He's got the win to contend with, but he nurses that through. No kick will be easy, apart from the ones directly in front. He's done well, Burton. Canterbury 6-0, 4.5 gone. And Steve Roach, you talked about Canterbury will probably start on the right foot. They had to cash in early, and they've done just that.
Yeah, that was a big thing coming out there. You would be a little bit disappointed if you didn't start off the game well. On the back of the penalty, they've done well. They've scored the first try. They've got to stay at it now, the Bulldogs. Great effort.
One of the great sights at Belmore Hill, or should I say the Josh Reynolds family hill, as it's been named today. By Taylor Mariner. Story emerging about him. Suffered pneumonia only about a month ago, lost 6 kilos, and now here he is up front for the Bulldogs. Max King, he's been front row all season for Canterbury. Preston again working that edge, man down low. Canterbury had just scored once, the first on one occasion over the last 8 weeks. This is an uncommon start for them. It's a great start. And that's Averillo really bringing some energy from the back. And now the kick from Sexton. Saylor has been excellent in the custodian role. 2 games, 2 wins. Rewarded with a 2-year contract not all that long ago. And now the powerful Cobbo. So plenty of names missing for Brisbane, but plenty of big names still there. Jesse Arthurs, he's had an excellent 2023. And now Keenan Palacia. Just going one out here. There's Pat Carrigan. Really, they'd love to have him. Jordan Ricky as well. He was really putting together a good 2023 before injury got in his road. And Reynolds, not a great deal of pressure there as he gives that lots of air. Blake Wilson. Tidy catch.
Yeah, game just starting to find some rhythm now. It was an explosive start for Brisbane, giving away an early penalty, trying to take the crowd out of it and get on top of Canterbury. Canterbury through Preston found the opening tries. We see Skelton in just his first NRL start. Terrific moments last week against South Sydney. Canterbury just starting to get a little momentum around the ruck at the moment.
I'll tell you what I do like when they do the jump back play and they get Averillo involved around the ruck. They did it the last set. He nearly went straight through.
And it goes here, and this is Braden Burns linking up with Wilson. He almost gets away. That's a tremendous tackle. Selwyn Cobbo comes up with a big play. And the Broncos get it back.
He's had some speed there, Wilson, didn't he? Getting on the outside of Cobbo. Almost got away from the reach of Cobbo. Hat-trick last week. Here it is here. Accelerated, showed great confidence and Fenn to get on the outside of Cobbo. And Selwyn doing a good job.
Wilson actually did remarkably well to get rid of it, but straight to a Bronco. So Canterbury here putting a bit of muscle into this defensive set. Jensen distributing. Reynolds keeping it going. Saylor the flick. Cobbo the juggle.
And there might be a penalty here for a late shot. I think it might have been Taylor Mariner on Jensen, I think it was.
He's got that little bit of touch of class, hasn't he? Tristan Saylor.
Yeah.
Not as big as his old man, but that little bit of class there, the flick back on the inside. And Cobbo showed how skillful he was. It was a tough one to catch.
So the first time the Broncos get to mount some pressure here. Terrific Super Saturday here on Fox League. All the contests quite fascinating today. As Palacia distributing away. Hetherington can't quite shake off King and then get some help from Faitala Mariner. Here's Reynolds on the 20. Jensen down the middle. They're one of the best teams at scoring tries off kicks. The Broncos, as it comes from Reynolds away to a juggling Mam. And Mam rounded up here, gang tackled on the 10. That's Herbie a dummy half as it comes into Palacia, working back. Then the flick to Farnworth. Farnworth running sideways, then putting in the kick, but nothing on it. And it's Burton coming away for Canterbury.
Starting to get in their groove a little bit now, the Broncos. If you had a look at that set, the ability of their forwards to stand in tackles and offload the football. And here's a couple of offloads now from the Dogs.
And now Wilson probing. Hasn't he made every poster winner in his relatively short NRL career? Amarillo feeding it on. Skelton is a unit.
Yeah, big boy. Very athletic.
Rugby Sevens, Melbourne Rebels, now here at Canterbury. And they work it to the middle on play number 4. Lining up to run it, but Marnie decides to kick. He's got 4 40-20s this year. That one pulled in nicely by Arthurs.
Yeah, not a bad option from Marnie, just turning the Brisbane forwards around. Got a horrible bounce for the Bulldogs. Bounced right back into the arms of Jesse Arthurs. But another good set from Canterbury. Brisbane just look, I mean, I said it about Queensland the other night. They just lack that little spark without Reece Walsh, don't they?
Right.
So here's Palacia away to Jensen. Obviously that Marnie kick outside the 40, but finding the corner nonetheless. This is a strong run from the Broncos front rower. The Gold Coast bound Palacia. Walters at dummy half. Reynolds has spotted something and he runs, but he runs straight into a go on the last tackle. And that's a changeover.
Yeah, Reynolds blowing up here. It was referee Ziggy that called Reid Marnie out of the kick pressure. Marnie stays out of the way, so he accelerated Reynolds, only to be tackled well by Waddell. Here it is here. Marnie pulls out. Yeah, nice work from Canterbury and another. That's 2 sets now that Brisbane have come up with 4 into sets.
Skilt really hard to put down. For Sexton, for Burton, back in field, Torpen. 16th first grade game. Still only 21 years of age, Jackson Torpen. Here it comes to Sexton. The cutout ball. Kiro's in the centres. Well handled. He debuted against the Broncos and it was in the centres on that night. Inside the 30 is Amarillo darts. Now Sexton over the 20-metre line.
Gee, needed to push up there.
So Burton will kick on the last. Wilson coming through. Wilson can't outbody Cobbo. And Cobbo comes away.
He is such a good player, Selwyn Cobbo. Boy, that was a good take. Surrounded by Bulldogs defenders. Somehow came down with the footy.
Yeah, you can tell the great players can do it at ease.
Yeah.
Just made it look so comfortable and easy that time, Cobbo.
Looks like a slight hobble on Mem. He's talking to the trainer right now.
Yeah, he's in a bit of trouble here, Dan.
And with thumbs up given, but that's one we'll keep an eye on for sure. Hetherington looking for the quick play of the ball. Reynolds on the run, bringing in man, catching and passing. Farnworth putting together a wonderful 2023, but nowhere to go for him here. And now Reynolds kicking the belly, trying to use the breeze. Very good catch, Amarillo. Taking on Arthurs. They are ticking all the boxes right now, the Canterbury Bulldogs.
Terrific start from Canterbury at the moment. Getting through 5 of their 6 sets. Now starting to win the field position battle. That's play 3 now through Skelton, and they're up towards the halfway line.
Jeez, they sit back and wait. That's another good run from the man playing his 2nd game. 16 minutes last week as 18th man. Strange way to debut. Burton can't quite find open space as it sits up for Sailor.
Yeah, it's a hard surface down there. We were talking about that before, weren't we, Block? And that's a couple of kicks now from Marnie and also Burton that have just sat on their point without getting that general run on that you normally get at stadiums like Acor, and a penalty now for the Brisbane side. Again, Cobbo looking for work. Marnie a little long in the tackle. And Adam Reynolds just taking his time here, letting his troops get a breath.
Yeah, they needed something, didn't they, the Broncos? They've been under the pump. It's the speed of the play the ball and the pace that the Dogs are playing at the moment. As you mentioned, well, they're 6 from 7. Well, the Broncos are 7 from 7, but really haven't been down in the attacking zone yet. They've just grafted away, coming off their own line to start this game.
These are conditions the Broncos should be quite used to. Mid-20s, it is so strange for Sydney. And Broncos there, you see Adam Reynolds really slowed things down before putting that ball into touch.
Sometimes see this coming off the back of the bike. A little sluggish start, Dan.
It was 14 days ago they last played. Reynolds delays the pass, puts Perkura away. That's beautiful. And Reynolds scores. Adam Reynolds, touch of class, and the Broncos hit back.
Yeah, beautiful work here from the little master, Adam Reynolds, going deep into the line and finds one of these young superstars that they are unearthing. He's been on the radar for quite some time, Brendan Perkura. And there's the ball playing from Palliser, digs deep into the line, gets Burton turned in, and then supporting, like all good halves, back through the middle, on the inside. And Reynolds just grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck. Watch this, squares up, nice short ball. Great leg speed and athleticism from Perkura. And at full speed gets the ball back inside, Reynolds. And the Broncos hit back.
Well, he's another one that reacts to what the defence is doing. Just have a look, they turned out there. A little bit of pace there from Perkura. And Reynolds, as you said, stays alive back on in the inside. Hasn't been great pressure on him with his kicking game so far, but he selects this time to go at the line. The soft hands, they only need one opportunity on the back of the penalty. The Broncos are in.
Must disappoint Cameron Sorrell, though. Like, just given what a good start it's been, they've been on top, all the momentum. They give away a play 3 penalty, and then they concede points on the back of that when they've been good defensively to start the game. In the opening 14 minutes, just lose concentration.
So here's Reynolds kicking it through, 6 points apiece. Darcy McDonald.
No surprises to see the Broncos' chief playmaker Adam Reynolds having an impact on this game. We know just how important he is to the club's premiership chances. He turned 33 on Monday, but has no intention of slowing down. He's signed until the end of next season, but is confident he has another year or two after that in him. He said he would love to ink an extension with the Broncos and, of course, break the club's 17-year premiership drought.
Indeed. Well, there was talk he could have been very easily part of the New South Wales setup in 2023. Such was the form he has been and continues to show. So all tied up here in Belmore.
Oh, look at that hold up.
Oh, that's a knockback. If that's deliberate from Staggs, it's called a knock on. It's called a knock on. Well, Staggs looked like he contorted himself in a way to somehow knock it backwards.
I wonder if they'll challenge that.
Well, we saw one last night that was overturned for the Tigers, where it was clearly hit back, and that was overruled by the bunker. This time, Staggs with a second effort to swipe it back. And again, this will show it perfectly. Definitely propels the ball forward to start with, but then it's, I think actually where he loses it at the start, I think that's the right call.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the right call.
Kiros throws a loose one. Might have got a little Brisbane hand to it. Either way, still Canterbury ball. So Preston was their try scorer early in the first 5 minutes. Waddell working it down the middle. Marnie peeking left, going left. King, the front man, within a metre of the line. Burton is waiting on the left side, but Marnie intercept. That's Billy Walters with an enormous play.
Yeah, that's a dummy half that's done all his homework on his opposition through the week, and he knows that Marnie loves to come out close to the line, holds the ball for a little period of time there. That allows Walters just to get into the line in between the lead runner. Great work from Billy Walters. Big momentum swing there.
Hetherington wanted to pass, but he's got a better result here. Brisbane penalty.
Yeah, looks like one of the Broncos were held back there. Yeah, Marnie takes his time and get out of dummy half, trying to bring the forwards onto the football there. Walters gets in between and gets the intercept. Some quick play the balls there too. King nearly went close.
Look at that.
The Broncos now with a kick for touch, 40 out. Look at that.
Again. It's
30 out.
It's Saturday afternoon block, and this stadium is packed. That's how desperate people were to come to this game. An out-of-town team, the Broncos. And look at this place.
Sea of blue and white. I don't see much maroon out there.
So Brisbane with a chance here to get back-to-back tries. Reynolds, that was an extravagant dummy, and it put Marnie on his backside, but Marnie recovers to help make the tackle. Now down the middle. Palacia has been busy. His 6th run. Inside the 10 with Hetherington. The pass on the line to Jensen. So they're doing it through the middle here. 2 plays left. Now it comes outside. And Capewell. Too good. Capewell strolling through. Reynolds involved again. Brisbane really starting to click into gear.
Yeah, again, it's Adam Reynolds. I thought they could have gone out the back. He's got the fishing rod out.
Beautiful. Well done.
Yeah, try July. Again, it's the little master Reynolds just swinging down the short side. Thought they could have gone out the back on the previous play from Palacia. Great width of the pass from dummy half. Reynolds, great tempo, doesn't dig deep into the line, just draws out the Bulldogs' defence. And in between Sexton there and Carraz, it's a beautiful line from 2 of the veterans, just carving it up here at Belmore.
Yeah, just got on the outside shoulder there of Toby Sexton, but I reckon the try assist should go to Billy Walters, the other end of the field when he made the intercept. And there's the fish. What's he fishing for, Barry, you reckon?
He looks like he knows what he's doing.
What about the
Charleville? It looks like he knows his way around a fishing rod. Well, that's a minimum 5,000.
What about the sleight of hand there of Adam Reynolds?
Yeah,
2 try assists to start the game.
He's seeing it well, isn't he, Reynolds? Beautiful ball playing for both tries. And Brisbane starting to find their rhythm. Marnie with the error down the other end of the field when the Bulldogs in good attacking position. Intercept by Billy Walters close to the line. Penalty again. So both tries coming off yardage penalties that the Dogs have given away. And both times they've invited Brisbane down into their half. It's this man, Reynolds, carving up and setting up tries early here at Belmore.
And the kick from Reynolds, using the wind to perfection. 12 points to 6.
Well, you're right about Palacia and also Jensen. Let's not take anything away from the 2 starting front rows here this afternoon. Both over 60 metres, well, 51 and 61 metres. They've been outstanding, laying the platform for the Broncos, who have been under pressure early in this game. They got the first try, the Dogs, but since then, a couple of opportunities to the Broncos, and they've been good enough to score. They've got class.
Charleville, West Queensland, not exactly
Fishing in a dam.
fishing hard.
Yeah, fly fishing in the dam, in the creeks.
He knew what he was doing. The Gold Coast choreography is starting to really come along. With Zarko last week, using it as a golf club. Geez, wouldn't you lapped up a try celebration, Mick?
Dan, listen.
Here it comes.
It's a bit early to start sledging.
I just would have loved to have lapped up a try.
Hetherington getting a bit tense out there. Walters, the flick pass. Oh, now that's a strong shot there from Braden Burns to help jolt that free. So that was Reynolds, this time not getting it right. But credit to Braden Burns.
Gee, I like that from Burns, trying to make a difference. He's a tough player.
And once again, Tavita Pangai block coming off the bench. Here he is. Did this against the Bunnies.
He'll want a big day, won't he, against his former club, Tavita.
Yeah, some easy meters there.
King. Tavita on the left, but it comes to Burton on the right. And now out on the wing, Skelton. And a little laborious this as they just set it up until that offload. That gets Tavita a little bit of space. Now Torpenair, the dummy, and the pass. Brilliant pick-up, Sexton. Keeps it alive, but Walters again.
Knock on Brisbane.
But he's knocked it on. He's stopped the little run there, but it is still Canterbury ball.
Yeah, I like it from the Dogs too. Not just willing to go set for set, just trying to score points here this afternoon. The ball movement. Pangai Jr. just on the field. Gee, I'd love to see him just wind up and dig into the line.
Gee, that was a good pick-up, wasn't it, by Sexton on the half volley.
Walters it is that knocks on for the Broncos.
Okay, guys, we're all here. Let's go. Toby.
Conceding the last
Green,
two.
head in. Tristan, head in.
Important they get the next one here, the Bulldogs.
Clock's off. Let's go. Break.
4. The 3 on the left, 3 on the right out of that scrum, but nothing adventurous as Skelton brings it.
Go crowd him, Ezra.
Brings it back closer to the middle, and now King.
Toby, get up now.
Just opening up this left here. Over the head of Waddell. Sexton looks to switch, but doesn't like what he sees, so he just concedes on that one. No panic with still 3 tackles left. In away from Pangai. The try scorer, Preston. Close
again, yeah.
Capel just hanging on. Out it goes Pangai on the angle.
That's better.
Falling on his front. Now Hetherington. Gore got off just in time. Burton stuck here, so he does it himself and conjures a line dropout.
Yeah, nice work from Matty Burton, just building pressure, getting another set for the Bulldogs, but it was this breakdown in communication earlier in the set where he went long to Sexton and the play just broke down. In fact, the set broke down. The Bulldogs with another opportunity now. Boy, if they could hit back here.
Well, now the wind.
Yeah.
What can Reynolds do with this? He goes high. Wind drags it over the 10, over the 20. And this is where you want the wind against you. Because the wind for Reynolds did not help at all. Easy catch for Burns. And now King to the 10. Waddell skipping and straightening. No one comes with him here, but he gets the offload away, and Marnie is there eventually. There's Pangai, hard to put away. Torpenet. Avarillo sizing it up. Back for Preston. Changes of angles here from Canterbury. Sexton gets it on. Avarillo to Kiraz. That's an important tackle, but not a complete tackle. And now they score. Canterbury, they keep it alive.
Avarillo.
And Avarillo is over. So the Bulldogs would not die wondering, and they get their reward.
Yeah, no surprise. Ever since the injection of Tavita Pangai Jr. off the interchange bench, they are keeping the ball alive. Harlem Globetrotter stuff. They are spinning and turning and twisting out of tackles. This time it was Waddell that kept the ball alive for Marnie. He in turn found Pangai Jr., who himself swung towards the short side. Ball kept alive again. Torpenny found Avarillo. He looked and schemed out to that right-hand side. And again, just keeping it alive. And they found some holes. Great work here from Kiraz again. Flick back on the inside, and then Kiraz just got the offload back to Avarillo, who did well to show the ball to Preston. And it was a much-needed try.
Well, you know how well Avarillo did in that passage of play. He handled the ball 3 times. That was the unbelievable thing about it. Threw the dummy back on the inside to Preston and took off. Speed. You can't match it. Avarillo in for the Dogs.
Well, he's back at fullback. He had a huge game against South last week with a couple of try assists. And he was the fullback back half of last season and just lurking around and getting the try. Burton makes it 12 points all.
Well, Jake Avarillo has to be one of the game's most versatile players. Since debuting in 2020, he's played in 6 different positions. He did find a home at right centre this season, but shifted back to fullback last week in one of the many changes Cameron Ciraldo made. He's actually had a lot of success at fullback too, now scoring 8 tries in 12 games, tracing back to last season, and this one ends a 5-game drought.
Thank you, Darcy. Yeah, and 8 tries in 2023, equal with Josh Addo-Carr. But of course, he's off. He's off to the Dolphins at the end of the year.
Just about to say, I think under the coaching of Wayne Bennett and Christian Wolf up north, I think we may see him become a household name in our game. He's got so much unlocked potential, Avarillo.
Where are you going to play him, Mick?
I'd say he'd probably play centre block up there. Yeah.
The hammer.
Him and Farnworth going there next year.
And what, Farnworth and the hammer. Oh, hello, Canterbury here. Well, not quite at entertainers level, but and now they've been punished here for getting expansive in their own 10 off the kickoff with the knock on.
Yeah, it was Pangai Jr., and there's no surprise that the Broncos forward pack going after him physically. He is their enforcer and just needed to cop his medicine here, trying to offload to someone in a far worse position. Look at the shot under the ball. It was an absolute beauty there in the ribcage from Tapau.
You know what I'd be doing with him, Mick? Pangai Jr. will be saying, in your own half, mate, just tuck the ball under your arm and run as hard as you can. Yep. Do all the fancy stuff when you're attacking. can't afford to make mistakes there. You've got yourself back into the game 12-all, a forced offload. They're 10 metres out in the middle of the field now, the Broncos.
So it looks like Blake Wilson getting the all clear from the trainer. The concussion test there. He might have some defending to do here. Brisbane, another chance. So a few points being scored here, 2 tries apiece. Dogs in no hurry to pack this.
And it comes out here, Sailor. Burton there doing the bulk of the work. A little bit of help there from Burns. A little bit too much work, 6 more tackles. Oh, Walter straight through. Oh boy, and now Reid Marnie wants none of that try celebration. But may Billy Walters celebrate. He's having a day this afternoon.
Yeah, really smart work, and he just continues to get better and evolve his game at dummy half. Billy Walters, great recognition here. Someone left on the ground, no markers in place, and straight between Torpenny and Braden Burns, just lowers his body position, accelerates. That's really disappointing. Really disappointing for Canterbury. On the back of a great try to Jake Averillo, it's Tavita Pangai that comes up with a completely unnecessary error on play 1 off the kickoff. Marnie having none of the try celebration, and on the back of the scrum 20 metres out, it's Billy Walters that pinches one of the easiest tries you will see.
Well, the Dogs put themselves under pressure. Pangai Jr. trying to offload the ball in his own 20, it is, early in the tackle count. Just gifting the Brisbane Broncos not only field position, but the opportunity to score. Burton was left laying on the ground. Walters identified it. One marker went the wrong way. Walters goes the other way and dives over.
So Reynolds striking it low and straight and through. So the Broncos back out in front, 18 points to 12. Remember, Walters, it was he that's effectively saved a try at the other end earlier in the game, and here getting his 2nd try for 2023. And also, no surprise, Mick, it's one dummy half swatting the ball out of another dummy half's hand.
Yep. Nothing riles you up more than when your opposition number strolls over for a try like that. Yeah, good.
They could have punched on there and given another 10 grand. Another 10 gorillas to him.
So changes coming here at Belmore.
Well, it is Belmore, isn't it?
Well, I tell you what, they'd go ballistic if that sort of activity broke out. That was Xavier Willison first to hit it up. But Canterbury scored first, for those just getting home now. But Brisbane really been on top since.
One guy that really brings something and brings energy to the middle of the field for the Bulldogs is young Moran, Curtis Moran. I wouldn't be surprised if Serraldo gets him out there either side of half-time just to try and get some energy in the defensive line of the Bulldogs.
Tapau, former Bulldog. Catching and passing long time ago. Never got the privilege of playing a first-grade game here. And now Reynolds. Waddell knocked him over after he kicked. No problem, though, from Ziggy, and even better for Canterbury, the catch in the in-goal from Averillo. An extra tackle coming. Crowd's just gone a touch quiet here.
There's no doubt that wind's had an impact in the opening half. Again, that kick that Reynolds gets right almost every time just ends up 1.5 meters too long. And here we go, Curtis Moran, just watching from the box here. He's come straight to the sideline. An absolute terrier for the Bulldogs.
Kiro's got up awkwardly, in fact, limped back to his position out near the right touchline, but he seems to be okay. Canterbury now, as we approach the 30-minute mark of this game, Burton with a run.
Pangai, that's a strong run, and the offload. Brilliant catch, Sexton, gets it on, that's a classic Canterbury try. Averillo gets a double. And the Belmore faithful goes nuts.
Yeah, well, when he runs hard like that, Tavita Pangai Jr. off the back fence, he creates space to generate his offload rather than going into contact and thinking offloading to people in a better position. Look at this, charges on straight over the top of Billy Walters, and Sexton who is having a wonderful fortnight since coming to the Bulldogs, looming on the inside, and the speed and support of Avarilla, who picks up his second. Sexton, boy, what a pickup. What a find he's been for the Bulldogs. And Avarillo under the sticks, and a chance to level it up with 9 minutes to go. That was brilliant from Canterbury.
Well, how good was that to watch? Pangai Jr. not thinking pass first, thinking run, break tackles, offloads the footy. Sexton there right on the spot. Avarillo, great support. And what a try from the Bulldogs. That's been the best part here this afternoon so far. Brilliant to watch.
A lot like Robert Ralph to Rod Silver, wasn't it?
I was going to say it, Mick.
It was like Ralph to Silver.
98. But what about Toby Sexton? He's been here for 5 minutes, but he knows back up to Vida.
Yeah, and it's a great trade of a half, just to recognise someone with the ability of Tavita and just to keep moving forward.
We have a cracker here this afternoon. The ball's been given movement. It's tough, it's tight, it's 18 all.
What about the run from Tavita Pangai Jr.? He can be one of the most destructive forwards in the game on his day, but the challenge is doing it consistently. Cameron Ciraldo believes Pangai Jr. can sometimes overthink things, so they're working on simplifying his game. Basically, his job is to just lead with his actions by running hard and tackling hard, and the rewards will come after that, just like they did in that try.
Thank you, Das. You might notice the camera rocks a little when Canterbury score a try here. Let me tell you, the box rocks as well. It's a wonderful big grandstand here, and you can feel it when Canterbury get going. Now the crowd's back into this. This is Curtis Moran.
Love him. Absolute terrier.
Rory Waddell. Now Pangai loading up again, away from Capel. That's a 15-metre run. Waddell, who's been involved heavily this afternoon.
He's been good, Waddell.
Excellent set this from Canterbury. And now Burton, here we go. Puts up a wobbler. Sailor, under it. Sailor, terrific catch.
Boy, that was moving. Swirling in the breeze, he did well. Sailor's eyes never, ever left the footy there. That was a superb take from Tristan Sailor.
It's a very important set here for the Brisbane Broncos. The enthusiasm and energy from the Dogs. They've got on top the last 5 minutes.
Dean Mariner, by the way, the Broncos number 18. Oh, that's a big one. Penalty.
Late footwork from Farnworth, and just collects him a little high. Herbie coming in, recognising his big men are starting to gasp for air. So good with his yardage game. And in the 2 yardage penalties they've given away, Canterbury, Brisbane have scored. Reynolds has iced the opportunities. Keep an eye out for Reynolds in this set.
This is the
He's
big
a big
unit.
boy block, isn't he?
Xavier Willison.
It's a monster.
Curtailed injury with a knee injury. That sort of set him back, but there's high hopes for him. Here's Capewell. He's already strolled through once down that edge. Man keeps it going to Walters, and now flat-footed Xavier Willison. But that's the 10-metre line in front of him with a stack of tackles left. Again, they work the left. And this is Cobbo getting involved.
Yeah, Cobbo's. In fact, Kevin Walters said he's got a job for him this afternoon. Well, he looks like he's been given a roaming role almost as a second fullback.
Yeah, because he's nowhere near his right wing at the moment. Tapaua playing it. Again, they continue to look at this left side. Man, surrounded. Touch football. Goes to ground. Tapaua, early distribution. Sailor, he can kick. He can put pressure on. That could be a chance. Oh, swatted away. Avarillo swoops in to save it.
He came from nowhere, didn't he, Avarillo? Saves a perfect chance there.
He has had a tremendous first half. Sailor just in that second receiver position, and the fierce tackle there from Mariner, who is on the field now for Brisbane in jersey 18.
He's done this before in first grade Sailor, kicks like that on the angle, that close to the line. And they've been very hard to contend with. And that could have so easily been a 4-pointer. Now that's into the wind. It's coming back. Ockenbaugh, air swing. Canterbury miss out. Brisbane get it back.
Why wouldn't you try and catch it instead of trying to hit it back? He's 8 foot.
Cobbo.
Have they moved Cobbo into the left centre? He's right over there, 3 in there on the left-hand side.
He hasn't really moved from there, has he, the last couple of minutes? That's a strong tackle. Pangai involved with Moran. And it comes now. Sailor delays the pass. That's a delight! And it's Mariner in the corner. They're going try for try at Belmore. And it's the Broncos who retake the lead.
Yeah, Kevin Walters reshuffling his side. Selwyn Cobbo in a roving role, and it's Mariner that's come onto this right wing where Cobbo's been playing the last few weeks. Reynolds, good distribution out to Sailor. Boy, what a pass. What a pass. The Bulldogs left edge just caught in field, Burns in tight. So too Wilson, and some space on the outside there for Dane Mariner. And in the one hand, gets a great ball from Sailor and plants it down right in the corner.
Gee, that's a great pass there from Sailor on the run. But just have a look how far Blake Wilson was caught in field. That just offered that long pass on the outside. You see him just hogging the sideline there in Mariner to score that try. Does it comfortably. Gee, they're a dangerous side close to your line, 20 out. But the Bulldogs have gifted them so many opportunities. A couple of forced offloads, a couple of drop balls coming off their own line. You can't afford to do it against this Broncos side. They've got points in them.
Sprinkling of first grade experience for the young man. And this will be you would think, the toughest kick of the day so far. And Reynolds, this is the one aspect of his game that's been a little wayward in 2023. And that is not coming back. So that's the first missed goal of the day. 22 points to 18. Mariner, his 4th first grade game. Dolphins wanted him during the off-season last year, but here he is at the Broncos. Great pass, though, from Sailor.
Well, you know the great thing about Sailor, he's doing that on the move, on the run, at full pelt. Just looks up and sees the wing 3/4 for the Dogs in field in Blake Wilson and throws that bullet-like pass. Gee, it's been an entertaining first half.
Hasn't it just?
How good's afternoon football?
Oh, nothing beats it, Block. Full house, suburban footy, sunny day. Tapau with 2.5 to go in this first half. So the Broncos have only tried once. That was very early when they were down 6-0. Half time coming up with Nick and Block down with Lara on the sideline. Willison splashing Moran off him. Preston there to clean it up. Willison slow to get up here, reaching for his face as Cobbo in that left centre position. Rounded up, and that's Sexton that's down. So they're down a man in defence. Now an air swing, and that should be, well, it's Canterbury ball anyway, but Sexton's still down.
Gee, they can ill afford to lose him, Sexton. We'll see if something happening off the ball here. Can't lose him. Looks like a smashed nose by the look of it, or a cut around the mouth. Let's see what happens here.
So Cobbo.
Ooh. Hang on. Oh, no, it's a fend. It's hit him with a forearm, but it's a fend.
You fine with that?
I think I am, yeah. If you have a look at his hand open, he pushes through. I think it's an accident.
Well, let's see what the bunker thinks here. I don't need much encouragement here, the Canterbury fans. And
the thing that'll save him, his hand's open. Watch the fend here.
Well,
there. He does cop him with the forearm.
You're going to have a lot of time. He's got a lot of blood around his nose.
I don't think it's deliberate. It'll make it look worse too with the blood around the nose and the mouth.
Well, the question, forget Cobbo for a moment, is this the last we'll see of Sexton today? And that's quite significant.
I think he's missed with the fend.
Adam.
And he's caught with the forearm.
I don't think the bunker's going to agree with you here, Block.
Well, just have a look at the open hand anyway.
Selwyn.
We'll see what happens.
Okay. Direct forceful contact on report, you're in the bin.
10 minutes, Selwyn.
You got the mark case?
So, the injury obviously having an impact on the decision there. And Selwyn Cobbo, we'll see him 9 minutes into the second half. The question, will we see Toby Sexton again? He was on the ground for a long, long time.
I reckon it's a bit of blood. I don't think he's concussed. Be a little bit of blood hitting you around the mouth or around the nose. Give Cobbo the benefit of the doubt there. Obviously the bunker didn't, but anyway, we play on.
So Canterbury have a pretty good record actually at putting points on when an opponent's in the sin bin. 20 minutes of sin bin time and they've put 24 points on. Boy, wouldn't they love to get one just before the break. There's Penguy out to Avarillo. Getting it on to Burns. 6 more tackles here. The worst result for Canterbury, repeat set in terms of a dropout is no good to them. And they do get that extra tackle off that restart. Now it comes out to Preston off almost. In fact, did get through Capel. Man cleaning it up. Comes now to Ockenbaugh. Canterbury here, closing in. And now Marnie, almost. 40 seconds left. 2 plays to come up with a try. Burton with the sweeping pass. Burns reaching back for it. Swatting away Walters. Now the stab kick. An all or nothing play. And Mariner is there with Sailor to clean it up.
Yeah, I don't know whether that was the right play there. The grubber kick in and behind. Sailor was right on point. Fullback there for the Brisbane Broncos here this afternoon, but they slow it down. And they get the repeat set here from the line dropout. Sailor in great position.
So we just wait now for time to tick away. And ball was out with less than 30 seconds to go. So it's the Broncos who are going to lead at half-time of a thoroughly entertaining Saturday afternoon clash. 4 tries to 3. And man in the bin for the next 8 minutes. So we have a serious contest here. Selwyn Cobbo, the man in the sin bin.
Look for Burton's kicking game too here early with the wind behind him.
Broncos unbeaten this year and they lead at the break. Here we go. And a shaky kick to start and Burton. Oh, he's been clocked. And Staggs, it was a late call from the referee there, not instant. Ziggy had a good look at that.
It bounced off the shoulder, did it?
Gee, it looked spectacular, didn't it? Burton having to accelerate into the bouncing ball and Staggs accelerated after him. Look at this. Whack. Well, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's what the commentators used to call ball and all.
It just looks spectacular. Nothing wrong with that from Staggs.
Extra meters coming for Canterbury. What do they do here with this one-man advantage? They change their game at all. Moran on to Flanagan. Remember, Sexton is out at the moment, so Flanagan coming off the bench. Got 15 minutes of game time last week with Moran again getting involved. Strong run down the middle. And here's Flanagan turning it in to Ockenbaugh. Now we get to the last play. Again, outside, inside, Avarillo chip kick. Oh, too tall, Xavier Willison. Well, he was like Victor Wembanyama there, just standing there, reaching up and grabbing it.
Well, they picked the tallest bloke on the field to try and chip over the top of. Just stood his ground, arms at full stretch, said thank you very much.
Brisbane survived their first test in this second half. This is Sailor. He certainly had some nice moments in the first half with Farnworth going up the middle.
Play the ball, go for.
Tampau, oh, forced that one. Willison certainly wasn't ready for it. Not that he could have got there anyway, but fortuitously for the Broncos, that's a Canterbury knock on.
Yeah, Marty, a little the same as Tavita Pengai, where sometimes they just...
On-field ruling.
Oh, yeah, it comes off
We've
the
got
arm
a captain's
of
challenge
Marty.
from the Bulldogs. On-field ruling is knock-on tackle 0 Bulldogs.
Well, I guess the argument would be not playing at it, but it's going to be a tough one to overturn.
They'll review that now, mate.
Well, down to 12 men, it's just an unnecessary...
Reid Marnie is putting his arms out trying to block the path of the ball, which is putting himself in a position to play at the ball. Just looking to see which direction the ball goes.
Gee, I reckon he looks surprised at his arm. Is he playing at it, you reckon?
And the ball travels forward towards the opponent's dead ball line. The challenge is unsuccessful.
So that's the end of Canterbury's challenge, and Brisbane will get this on halfway. Darcy McDonald down to you on the sideline.
An update from the Sheds at halftime. Broncos coach Kevin Walters said the big talking point was the offloads. They need to stop them quick, smart. They just spoke about hitting and sticking. As for the Bulldogs, Cameron Ciraldo, they spoke about building pressure. Thought they were too quick trying to find the line. Important to remember too that the wind is in their favour in this second half. An update on Toby Sexton. He has failed his HIA, and because an active foul play was involved, the Bulldogs have activated their 18th man, which is New Brown.
That's right. So second straight week they'll use. Well, if they use New Brown, it'll be second straight week. They've triggered the 18th. So New Brown, quite versatile. Here's Sailor out here to Staggs, running wide, bustling through and almost over. So Brisbane down a man, but on the attack. Walters. Now Willison steaming onto it. Taken just. That was Ockenbaugh around the bootlaces. Walters, he's done it once and almost again out of dummy half. Last play, and the softest barge over you'd ever want to see in the top grade. Xavier Willison helps himself to a try. And Brisbane, that has really silenced the crowd here.
Well, down to 12 men, they've come out looking to move the footy around here at Belmore and play an expansive style when you thought it might have been Canterbury doing it on the back of the failed captain's challenge. They got down the other end. Look at Torpenny here, and then no one there. Curtis Moran leaving a big space on the other side of the ruck, and Willison, the big interchange forward, and 6.5 foot tall, and just falls over the line. That is 2 tries now from dummy half they've conceded, and very, very cheap points that they have given back to Brisbane.
Well, there was no way he's going to pass the ball. You could see straight away Willison went into dummy half. You could see Adam Reynolds screaming for the ball on the left-hand side, but he said, nah, I'll be able to dive over here, easy.
Yeah, that's $5 grand, isn't it? A little celebration there. And Brisbane here. That's enormous to get the first try with Cobbo in the bin.
Didn't look like it was a rant at half-time from Kevin Walters, but it was certainly stern and direct, and knowing how important it is this afternoon without a number of their stars as Reynolds adds the extras, and a great start to the second half for Brisbane.
So 28 points to 18, and that is the biggest lead of the afternoon so far. Now, this is the last game here at Belmore for the men's, but NRLW round 2 doubleheader, July 30. It's the Knights against the Cowboys, Tigers clashing with the Sharks. You've got tickets starting from just $10. Kids under 15 go for free with a paying adult. It's a great place to watch the footy. Secure your seats today, nrl.com/tickets. All the games, of course, live here on Fox League. The NRLW coming soon. So here's Taupau. Good shot. Boy, when this Belmore crowd goes quiet, it really goes quiet. And they've done a great job, the Broncos, of silencing them. Piakura heavily involved in one of the first half tries.
Oh, there's that one on the field. Oh, he's gone flying over the fence too.
So now a bit of commotion at the southern end. As the security have arrived, the gentleman has been apprehended. Here's Tristan Sailor. Reynolds kicking into the corner.
Really smart, holding it up in the breeze.
And Avarillo, that's a great chase. So Piakura and Staggs there. Piakura finishing it off. Blake Wilson. Got a little knock in the first half, but given the all clear. So if you just tuned in, Toby Sexton ruled out with a concussion. So it's Kyle Flanagan now in the halves and New Brown available to join the game. With Pangai, no offload here. Here's a high one from Burton, which the wind really doesn't do all that much with. Mariner coming back. And the Cobbo sin-bin period is almost over. Only a couple of minutes left. So they've come out of this beautifully, the Broncos, to this point. Although Canterbury here muscling up with Ockenbaugh and Preston combining. Number 16, Jesse Arthurs, in for the injured Corey Oates. Would have been Corey Oates' 200th, but that'll have to wait. Injury at training. There's Farnworth. And Willison really has rolled his sleeves up today, Xavier Willison. With Reynolds, the charge down Preston, but it comes back to Saylor. And 6 more tackles confirmed. Saylor running. So Preston there, went for the big play. It doesn't come off though. Walters short side. Piakura, bounces.
Yeah, Burns in trouble here.
It bounces off. Burns is still on his knees. And he's hobbling back, but they're down a man here. Tampau is rounded up here. Burns does eventually get back to field the defensive line. Cobbo about to return. Farnworth the flick. Mam signalling 6 more. More importantly, the ref does not. But Mam runs, and now ragdolled by Pangai. There's Staggs probing. Strong tackle that, Torpenet. Last play, Walters. Wilson comes up with a huge play. Now goes down the sideline. Saylor coming across. Crowd rises. Wilson swerving. Saylor with the tackle.
Big play there from Wilson. Here comes Cobbo back onto the field. Brisbane back to 13.
Well, they were going to score the Broncos if Wilson didn't cut that pass off. But now Canterbury on the attack, looking to get back into this. Is Kiro's down the middle and offloading. Avarillo is wrapped up inside the 20. Well, this has come from nowhere. Flanagan the dummy half. And Preston just happy to take the tackle with 3 plays remaining. Ockenbaugh, a settler. Here it comes now. Flanagan! Slipping over was Willison, but he just held his nerve. Haven't seen Burton yet. Here he is. The stab kick. Preston! It's a try! Preston's got a double! But hang on.
Casey, coming to tackle 6. I have no try. Can you review grounding for me?
Okay, not convinced. Not convinced, Siggy.
Well, in amongst all this, Braden Burns has gone off on the far side of the field, so New Brown into the action, and he's dropped it.
No try.
It was a lovely touch off the outside foot from Matty Burton. And Preston, who is so wholehearted, dived at full stretch and just couldn't hang on to the footy. Boy, that's a bitter blow for the Dogs.
They're starting to hit the wall a bit now, aren't they? Toby Sexton off. And we see Braden Burns on the other side of the field. He won't be back on. He can't even walk. So a couple of injuries to backs. And the Broncos hang on. That was a little bit unfortunate. You'd think the bounce would have favoured him. Hit him on the chin and went forward.
Looking at the bench right now, the only available player, it seems, is Corey Waddell.
Yeah, looks like Torpenny's gone out to that left centre position. Ockenbaugh to left back row. And New Brown into the middle of the field.
And Staggs has been outstanding early in the second half. on that side of the field, so I reckon they'll go there.
He's almost done it again, Wilson, but also it almost went to the unmarked Mariner.
Good pressure, though, from Wilson. They were in trouble there. He's had some nice moments, young Wilson.
Let's work in, guys, on the clock.
Just unable to hang on to it there, Mariner, in jersey 18.
You like him, don't you, Mick?
Yeah, I do. I do. He looks confident. He doesn't hesitate, takes his opportunities. The other one that I'm getting to, I think Billy Walters, boy, hasn't he been creative out of dummy half today. The ruck speed of Canterbury, they just haven't won the ground, and he's been out asking a lot of questions.
So Canterbury, with that Wilson pressure, forcing that knock on, gets some good field position. Just to put a cap on Toby Sexton, category 2. So even though he won't return today, not necessarily rubbed out of their next game, which is next Sunday against Penrith. Obviously, there'll be some protocol to pass there. Here's Flanagan getting it onto Avarillo, running to the line and then linking it with Kiraz. Couldn't quite slip a pass to Skelton out on the wing. Here he comes now, the big fella. Skelton to the 10.
Gee, how good's he going to be with another off-season under his belt? He's handled it well, Skelton.
Running it. Now the run of Brown. Closing in on the try line. Here's Burton's pass. Torpenay had a little look. He saw the rushing defence, and that's a changeover.
Both feet.
So in comes Keenan Palacia. They're hanging in there, the Dogs. They've lost their halfback. They've lost Braden Burns, but they had a chance there.
Yeah, well, they've had the luxury of having Kyle Flanagan on the bench, so he's coming in doing a solid job in replacing Toby Sexton. Just out where Burns was, you've got young Torpenay, who is a back rower. Just unable to hang on to that pass in the last. Palacia, good leg drive there into contact.
So he's Tapau getting it on. Now Palacia keeping it alive. Piakuta. Brought down by Torpenay. Sailor really warming into this, isn't he? And he's already done some terrific things. There's the ball movement. So he's Mam receive it. 13 on 13. Stagg's been on for Cobbo been on for a few minutes now after serving the sin bin. Preston eventually gets off Capel. That's a corkscrew attempted kick, but no problem for the fullback Avarillo. Trying to work the referee over there. Here's Wilson out of dummy half. How much time left here at Belmore? 27 minutes. Pangai. Since that error he made early, it's been straight hard running from Tavita Pangai. And now it's Marnie with the pass. Oh, that's a shot. He played the ball, but it's a penalty. Well, Brown put that on the ground before he got up, but Brisbane.
And Marnie wanted to play on too. They've called him back. He's trying to, with a quick restart there from Marnie. Just got to find something. They're in the zone now, the Bulldogs. If they get a try, it'll be on.
Might be a home ground advantage. They just work the referee over, work him over, and then here we go. 6 more tackles, 20 metres out. Goes one out.
I only think back only a few minutes ago, with Preston being able to score, they've got the ability to do it here, the Dogs.
The last try was in the 30th minute. Already a disallowed try here in the second half. Kiraz. Oh, put on his back. That's just a strong tackle. Nam and then Capel. There's Flanagan catching and passing. Moran into a wall there. Burton was on the right. Pangai slips over and slips an offload. Oh, Moran, he was held out of that by Sailor, but the referee says no. And he was right there too, Ziggy. very quick to clear that one.
Gee, I thought the rule was if you put a grubber kick in, you can't be pulled back like that. He's got two hands on him.
The suggestion might be that he had Moran as he was kicking it. You'd have to think that's what Ziggy was thinking there. Piakura, that's a violent step. And now here's Walters running over the marker.
Been terrific. Boy, he's been good today.
It was Burton who was run over there, and the ball stays alive. Man doesn't panic. So one try in this second half. It belongs to this team, the Broncos. Reynolds giving this plenty of air. And Varillo again up to the task. Wind doesn't seem to be as effective in this second period.
Nah, certainly died down, hasn't it?
Waddell and here's King about to come back into the game. Curtis Moran coming off after providing his energy. Broncos need a win to stay in the top two where they've been camped all season. 12 wins, 5 losses. It's their best record since their grand final year of 2015. That's from inside the 40. And got some distance on it. It's a terrific
Look at Waddell.
And now Mariner,
the effort from Waddell,
really is taking his time here. And Waddell wants to throw him over the sideline, but Mariner stays in. Still a wonderful result for Canterbury. They've got them hemmed in the corner.
Well, that's what you like to see, someone trying to make a difference. That was a great chase from Waddell. It's easy for him to clock off. As we said, the distance on the kick, that's a big play.
There's Reynolds just staying where he was, stretching that out. And this is 3 tackles gone. And still yet to crack the 20 here. Tyson smoothly in the game. A dummy half for the Broncos. And now Farnworth heavily tackled. Good follow-up from the Dogs after that kick and then the defensive set to match. And that's perilously close to the touchline. Varillo tossing it in for Wilson. An interesting stage of this game. Brisbane with a good little buffer, but
you just feel that the Canterbury just need to get something going here to inject the energy back into the crowd. Marnie now out of dummy half, trying to puke a few metres through the middle.
Only trying. Rude Marnie to spark something. Markers there deemed to have been in the correct position.
Cobbo's actually defending in the middle of the field. Cobbo's right in the middle of the field.
So here's the high one. And up they go with Mariner up to the challenge. So we're set for set at the moment. We're just waiting for a moment here. Darcy McDonald, down to you on the sideline.
An update on Braden Burns. It's an abdomen issue. He's in a fair bit of pain and he won't be returning today.
All right, thank you, Darcy. Yeah, you said it, Block. His afternoon was over once he came off.
Is Cobbo playing at lock?
Yep. He is. He's playing in the middle of the field, yep.
This is a great sight. Look at this late afternoon sun at Belmore. It's a Saturday afternoon. And now comes away here to Sailor, almost away. Burton, important tackle. Reynolds goes down the blind. The little chip kick. Pouring through, it's still alive. It's taken by Nam, and Nam has scored.
What about the pickup?
Brisbane. An extravagant play on the last tackle, and they have got over for their second of this second half. Yeah, Ezra Man.
It was a great play, the ball, Dan, and plenty of ruck speed. Reynolds just got the ball in his hands and just assessed the situation. They were in trouble. The Bulldogs on that short side, and he just dabbed it over the top perfectly, recognising Avarillo was deep. Great work there on the far side of the field from Dean Mariner. And just kicking ahead, towing it ahead. And Ezra Mam, who is such a wonderful little player, great instinct, pressing from the other side of the field. He's enjoying himself in the game whilst it was in the balance. waiting for someone to grab a moment.
Oh, Averillo with a little clip, but I don't think anything will come of that, Mick.
Yeah, it was Reynolds and Mam. That wonderful halves combination. Driving a nail into the coffin here of the Bulldogs at Belmore with 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, gee, they organised it pretty quickly, didn't they? Ockenball playing in the centres now, just they couldn't retreat quick enough. And he's seen it straight away, Adam Reynolds. Just takes up that second play down that short side, the grubber kick or the chip kick over the top. Mam's pickup was unbelievable to score the try.
We've pondered today whether he's actually 100% copped the knock and hasn't seemed himself, but he seemed fine there. So 3-score margin, biggest of the afternoon. Reynolds curling it back. Oh, that's a great kick. We've crossed the 60-minute mark of this game, and the Broncos now have a real buffer, 34-18.
He's been brilliant this afternoon without so much experience through the middle of the field. It's been Adam Reynolds who's really stepped up and taken the key moments of this game. Preston scored the opening try, injected the crowd, and then Reynolds took control of the second half. And when the game was right in the balance here in the second half, sides just going set for set for set. It was a beautiful little chip kick from Reynolds. He's been all class, the Brisbane 7.
Been easily the best player, hasn't he, on the field? Orchestrated everything, Reynolds.
So the try before half-time and then the two after. No smile on the face of Kevin Walters just yet. What a great Super Saturday.
Yeah.
Fascinating game at 4 Pines Park after this. Manly and the rising North Queensland Cowboys. And then 7:30, you've got the Roosters. We're all waiting, aren't we, to see when they're going to hit the go button on this season. At home, SCG against the Melbourne Storm. Terrific rivalry, that one, over the last few years. So all very interesting games, including this one, which the Broncos now can feel just a little bit more comfortable about. Reynolds looking for the corner. He has been in total control today, Adam Reynolds.
Sensational kick again from Reynolds, driving it deep into that right corner of the Bulldogs down towards Wilson.
There's Kiros. Normally a winger, of course, but even in the centres, a certainty that he makes his 100+ metres, which he's already done. So there's the injured brigade. Braden Burns, Toby Sexton. There's a bit of ball movement again. Comes outside, but Brisbane there in numbers. Skelton in 20. Flanagan. Bringing Mariner forward. Oh, that's a great catch and step there on Burton. How things could have been different if Preston holds on to that awkward but takeable rubber kick off Burton early in the second half.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It was a lovely kick from Burton into the in goal. Preston unable to hang on to it. Saylor now again continues to work through the middle of the field. He's done good, Tristan Saylor.
Now here's a strong run from Hetherington.
Geez, there's plenty of yards on take through the middle now for the Broncos.
Wouldn't he love a big moment here at Belmore, of course. The great Jason, a legend here at Canterbury. Oh, Reynolds, the subtlety. And now the loose pass finds Smoothie. He'll have a go here, and no, short.
Short out to this side, out to...
Oh, Flanagan with the tackle. Now
what's he doing here?
That kick, the best thing about that kick is it didn't go into the in goal, so Skelton has to bring it out.
Yeah, idea right there from Saylor, just unable to execute it. Better off going through the hands. They only had Carraz and Skelton out, as we see a great run here from
tremendous run.
Carraz charging upfield.
Now that gets a bit of momentum for the home side. Followed up by Wilson.
Come on, boys, get on the back of it.
And Waddell goes over halfway, forces the offload, finds Marnie in the right position. Burton back to Averillo. The ball movement to Flanagan. But Cobbo in the middle with the tackle. Here's a penalty. Here's a penalty.
Yeah, understand the idea of Kevin Walters without Flegler, Haas and Carrigan, just looking for a bigger body through the middle, particularly when they've got the depth with someone like Mariner who can play on the edge, but we just haven't seen the best of Cobbo today. He's doing his best through the middle through a difficult period for Brisbane. At that time, just starting to fatigue a little with his tackle.
I'll tell you what, it'll make him happy that he's a winger. Lasting 20 minutes in there.
Here we go.
So Brown, the 19. Canterbury with Burton. The sweeping pass that Torpenet does well to hold on to. Haven't found a way through for a little while, the Dogs. Waddell, boy, he's tried hard. No chance of an offload here. Just happy to lay the line. Marnie short side. On to Wilson. Wilson! Oh, he thought he was going to get through. Reynolds, great tackle. And experience to hold on a split second and not get punished. And Paul Newbrown puts that one down.
Change over. On the 10-metre line, Kurt.
Trying to hurry things along here. It's desperate times for Canterbury. And that is a changeover.
Yeah, that won't please that man there, Cam Serraldo. Marnie just active out of dummy half, fired the pass back across to the right-hand side where they had some space, and Brown just unable to hang on to the footy. Corey Jensen back onto the field now for Brisbane. And the Dogs attack. I want to see Burton start and run the ball, come off that left foot and straighten. Such a big body out on that side. Up against Adam Reynolds, who's wearing some bruises at the moment. Still just leaving the trainer in deep discussions with the trainer. Burton needs to run the ball.
And Mariner, very nice job from the young man in his fourth first-grade game. His man getting it on. Sailor in the middle. Out it comes Arthurs.
Cobbo's gone back to the right wing.
Thank goodness, he says.
Now Sailor. Heavily involved in this second half.
Yeah.
Smoothie out of dummy half, man short side, the double pump, then the double cutout. And good clean-up work from Kiraz. So they've got it all to do, the Dogs. They need to get a move on if they're going to take this down to the finish. And here's the spread. Marnie. Oh, hello. Wilson coming through, but great work, Cobbo. Oh, look at the work of Cobbo. Beats Wilson, throws the pass on to Staggs. Staggs cut down in a desperate tackle from Torpenet. But it looks so easy for Cobbo, doesn't it? So elegant. And now the Broncos can really bury the Dogs here. It's Palacia. Oh, Preston flying up out of the line to nail man. See her on tackle number 4. Brown their last appeal off. Smoothie, the man. And it goes to Arthurs. No panic from the outside defenders from Canterbury. Last play. Mams had a lot of it in this set. And he's just going to take the tackle and let Canterbury play it near their own line.
Corey, hold.
Well, the Dogs just need to find something here. 13 minutes remaining, and the home fans, they have not a soul is left here on what's been a great day for Josh Reynolds, finishing up here at Canterbury. The hill, the Petermore Hill, the Josh Reynolds Hill, in fact, today, absolutely packed.
They fixed the sign too, Mick. Josh Reynolds Hill.
They have, and the players need to inject a bit of life into the crowd here, start and move the footy around.
Yeah, the wind got a hold of that Josh Reynolds Hill sign earlier, but died down, so good to see it in its glory. What a great crowd. We've had some good crowds on Saturday afternoons this year. Newcastle, there was a 21,000 a few weeks ago.
Oh.
Cogra was a sellout. Canterbury make a mess of it here. At least Marnie gets boot the ball. Sailor bringing it across. Now Arthurs. Here's Raman in his 30th first grade game, second season in the big time. This is a terrific run from Farnworth. He is so good at making meters. Top 3 among centres in the game. And the ref just lets play continue. And Jensen almost to the 30.
Reynolds, bit of pressure on, but still gets boot the ball. Here's Cobbo, here's the pass. Here's a wonderful try. Oh, they're putting on a clinic now. It's Piakura who gets over. But that's just majestic from Reynolds and Cobbo.
Yeah, beautiful work again. Who is it? Adam Reynolds. What an afternoon he's had here at Belmore Sports Ground, under immense pressure here after the ball playing there of Kobe Hetherington. Under pressure from Ockenbaugh, just lofts the ball over the top of Wilson to Selwyn Cobbo, who has moved back out to that right wing position. Great execution of skill. Back inside to Piakura, who has really announced himself out on that right edge since the injury to Jordan Ricky. Getting back-to-back games. He's been touted as a young star coming through. Former junior Queensland representative. And he picks up his try for this afternoon. Set up a great try for Reynolds off a lovely short ball in the first half. And gets one for himself in the second.
Well, it's a special player that can make things look so easy. Cobbo, in the one movement, he had Wilson on his back there. Catches the ball above his head and then throws it a pass back on the inside, basketball style. This kid's going to be a freak. How good is he? At full pelt too, to be able to do that. You only wish you could do it. He's a special talent, Cobbo.
And Reynolds, what a day he has had, and he's had a few of these in his time at the Broncos. 40-18, down to Darcy McDonald.
Well, Brendan Piakura has taken a big step this season in becoming a regular first grader. He'd only played 2 NRL games before this year, but he came into the side in round 13, has retained his spot ever since. It's a well-deserved reward for him. He was carving up for North's Devils in the Queensland Cup. He'd scored 6 tries in 8 games and was averaging 5 tackle busts a game before he got the call up from Kevin Walters. He started in his last 3 games for the Broncos and doesn't look out of place at all.
Yeah, these young players have got a fair bit of experience in them now, where when they get their opportunity. Piakura, not so much experience, but he looks at home. These players that have been blooded for the last couple of years. And next week, Broncos should get Carrigan back. Oh, hello, there's some ball movement here. Aaron again. Yeah, Carrigan, Haas and Walsh will be back. Walsh certainly, his suspension comes to an end.
Interesting to see just what's happened to Adam Reynolds has come from the field. Looks like Katoni Staggs has moved into a half on that right-hand side of the field, ball in his hands now. But Adam Reynolds, the little general who's been Brisbane's best this afternoon, has come from the field.
And wrist injury here. Hopefully that's just precautionary, but they do check it out. Canterbury don't want to let this go and let Brisbane get to a half century. They've been up for this today, the Dogs. Saylor putting it up. And bat it back, play on. Still the last. Cobbo always seems to have time. This time puts a bit too much on that kick. So Flegler should be back round 22. Maybe there is a little bit of concern there from Reynolds.
I think you'd get out the cotton wool for him, wouldn't you? Just pack him in that.
This was where he just got his hand caught underneath Piakura, who was coming from the inside there. Spent plenty of time with the trainer, and let's hope it's precaution, because, boy, is he set for a back end of the year, Adam Reynolds, if they are to do something in this competition.
Well, you know who they've got next week. He will not want to miss it. They're playing South on the Sunshine Coast Friday night. What a monster game that is. King, Marnie. With Preston going to ground on tackle 4. Dogs haven't been helped. The couple of things going against them, losing Sexton, losing Burns.
Absolutely, Dan, but like, they take nothing away from Brisbane here. Like, no Reece Walsh. Middle forwards who they are missing this afternoon.
And now Arthurs takes it and will do well to stay in. Oh, he does stay in.
No Flegler, no Payne Haas. Carrigan ruled out after Origin on Wednesday night. No Jordan Ricky in the side. And they just come down to Belmore in what was a hostile circumstances with the celebrations of Josh Reynolds. The Josh Reynolds Hill full, the Western Grandstand full, and the emotions were high here. And they've been able to put 40 points on. It's one of their great wins of the season, I think.
Well,
under the circumstances.
There's so many comparisons this year and last year. Every time their record's been mentioned, oh yeah, but they had the same record last year and look what happened. This performance probably doesn't happen this time last year, as they will maintain their spot in the top 2. Sailor,
great kick.
Hauled in by Skelton.
Well, the great thing is the confidence for the coaching staff. You're giving these kids some opportunities, some first-grade games during the season through injury or suspensions or whatever. You know, at the back end of the season, if you need them, they can do a job for you.
Well, they've got a pretty meaty month coming up. Mentioned South. They've also got the Roosters at the Gabba. They've got North Queensland. That's a Saturday 3 p.m. game. That's enormous. Saturday 3 p.m. Cowboys Broncos in Townsville. It's a few weeks away, and then Parramatta at the Gabba. So no easy ones there. There's the ball movement here. Finds Kiraz. Yet to score in this second half, the Dogs. And Burton, that's as much time as he's had to put one up all day, and not even Cobbo can catch that. And obviously he's had an air swing, because Mariner had no problem taking it in an offside position. Well, would have been offside had Cobbo got a piece of it.
Boy, that was moving, floating everywhere. One of Burton's best, that one. Oh, I think he might have got a little hand to that, Selwyn.
Now, really worked this side over this second half. This right side, Canterbury's left. And the Dogs here, it's not their afternoon, but they're a fair bit away now from the spoon. 3 wins ahead of the West's Tigers. With that excellent win last week against South holding on. Avarillo put himself in the wrong position there. So the Broncos get another chance.
Keenan's offside.
In fact, no. Palacia offside.
Yeah, the game's been a lot closer than what the scoreline really tells the story of. But the Bulldogs just haven't been able to score in the second half. Preston got across the line, but apart from that, the attack has really been pedestrian. Let's hope they can finish it off now.
So once we're done here, and we'll send it on to the Clive Churchill studio with Vonnie and Cooper Croc, Mal Meninga, taking you through the rest of this terrific Super Saturday Cup. So now it's Mohamed Faitala Mariner, unfamiliar in that 10 jersey in the front row for the first time today. Good footwork, Kiraz, and the pass, finds Flanagan. Flanagan keeps it going. Ogdenmore catch and pass. Takes a little while to get to Wilson, but he brings it back in. Now a bit of a room here for Preston. Skelton cutting back. 2 tackles left. Can they send these fans home with something to cheer about? Now that is going to be called play on, but it is 6 more tackles. Waddell winds up. Waddell goes through. Waddell bounces over. No one was on him when he elevated his arm. That's a try. Waddell deserves that, and the Bulldogs, they get some points in this second half.
Yeah, he certainly does. He's probably been their best here this afternoon, Waddell. Just think back to a big kick chase there a little bit earlier in the second half when the Dogs were still in the game. It's a big play. They get the 6 again. Flanagan cleans up. They go to the left-hand side. Waddell just backs himself. A little bit of footy, a little bit of shimmy at the line. They can't cover up the break there. And Waddell crawls his way over to score for the Dogs. Gee, I'm glad they've finished this game off like this. The scoreline, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, probably flattered the Broncos a little bit. That's their first try of the second half from the Dogs. Well done.
Indeed, Corey Waddell. He gets his third for the year. Missed the last couple of games, but back for this one and a big contributor. The kick from Burton makes it 40-24. Gee, there's been some points in this game and some very well constructed tries. This one here from Waddell, he just would not be denied getting through Piakura. And then also, that's a great run there from Waddell. In fact, his arm didn't even touch the ground, not that it really mattered, because he was entitled to promote it.
Yeah, it's been a quality game of football, you know. In the afternoon, Saturday afternoon footy, a beautiful day, only 7 errors apiece.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. See a lot of dew in the grounds or in the nighttime games.
Yeah, nothing beats afternoon football. Saturday afternoon block, how good. The only thing missing is Warren Boland and the late great Peter Jackson and Johnny Peard. And oh no, Brisbane are going to get a chance here. Rockenball puts it down.
Well, that's when we had one game on the weekend. Fox, we show every game,
That's exactly
every
right.
week.
That is exactly right, Block. That was the only live game back in the day. But here, you got all 8 each weekend.
Geez, it was a big thing in those days to get a TV game.
Did you get a haircut for those games?
Oh, what? I did everything trimmed.
Okay, so the Broncos will get this centre field. The blocker, I don't want to know. So, I'm sorry I asked. Out it goes here to Saylor. Mariner working in closer to the wing with Cobbo out there on the sideline. Jensen rolling up to the 10. Man, Saylor, the stab. Here comes Farnworth. Here comes a try. Herbie gets over. And it's Brisbane who will finish with a try to close out this game. It's been a dominant second half. And it's Saylor's boot and Farnworth's chase.
Well, just have a look and see how they're all on board here. Look at the push-up here from the Broncos. Any number of players could score that try. Perfectly weighted. Saylor kicked a couple of dead in goal, but this time he gets it right. He's got some skills, hasn't he, Saylor? We saw a pass in the first half. A cut-out pass, perfectly timed. This time the grubber kick in behind. And Farnworth finishes the game off for the Broncos.
There's a lot of youngsters today, Block, that can really be happy with their performance from the Broncos, the likes of Piakura and but Tristan Saylor.
Willison?
Willison, I was just thinking about him. He really had stepped it up. But Saylor just ticks every box. Everything asked of him in 2023, does it with aplomb. So a bit of a shiner there, looks like, forming underneath Herbie's left eye. He's piling on the tries. That's 11 for him. So Katoni Staggs, can he get his first goal of the year? 68 points in this contest, maybe 70. And that one is going to hang out. So he's none from 4 for the year. And he might have to kick next week. We'll wait and see what happens with Adam Reynolds. You just hope that he came off as a precaution with the game well and truly wrapped up. The star of the show, no question about that, Adam Reynolds. What a fabulous afternoon here at Belmore. Well done to the Broncos. Winners over Canterbury, 44-24.